As storytellers, we believe in applying what we have learned, and today we're going to be demonstrating for you. We're going to be taking an exercise from Beth Serlin that we found in this book. This exercise is taking an action line and making it better by changing the action verbs. But first, we're going to show you the generic version. When you watch that action line being performed, it's plain. Too plain. And that's because the verbs in that action line don't paint a picture. Well, not a good picture. When an actor sees that action line, they are going to have to determine how they are going to perform them. And that can be a good thing if you don't know how you want the scene to play out. However, we are going to assume that you do know how you want it to play out. So we're going to be using our exercise from the book and come up with some almighty verbs to replace the generic ones. The main reason we do this is to add character and specificity to these actions. This will help us do two things. One, it will force us to think about the character's inner thoughts. This helps us add in the subtext that was missing in the first version of this action line. And second, it helps the actor take the guesswork out of how they are supposed to perform these actions. So we have our three verbs. To save time for this video, we went ahead and came up with our almighty verbs ahead of time. So we start with takes. If this person is going into the bathroom to kill his wife, how would he take the gun? Depending on the emotion the character is feeling, it will determine what our verb will be. We came up with snatch, which has a rushed feel to it. I think not. Then we found pluck, but that's too delicate. No, for our scene, we came up with seize. It feels aggressive enough for someone that has decided to kill his partner. Next we move on to goes. This verb sucks, so we thought of stumbles. This one could work, however, we don't want him to be clumsy in this moment. So we thought of shuffles. Getting closer, but that seems too lazy. And then we found lumbers. This is a big moment in this person's life, so the walk across the room should be a heavy walk. And finally we get to shoots. Depending on how he feels about her will determine what verb we use. So we thought of executes. This gives us too much of a clinical feel, so no. And then there's offs, which would be great in a crime film, not what we're going for though. And finally, we came up with sacrifices. This evokes the pain that we think the character is feeling as he murders his wife. Now that we have replaced our generic verbs with much more lively ones, let's see how the scene plays out. So as you can see, simply using better verbs can not only make your screenplay more interesting to read for potential buyers, but it can also help your actor know how to perform the actions. And as always, keep writing.